through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil because I'm blind to it all. In my mind, my gun, they comfort me, because I know I'll kill my enemies when they come.
Well, we are another PSX under our belts, and Naughty Dog opened and closed the show, which says a lot about them and Sony as a whole when you're using a studio like Naughty Dog to basically give you your big hitters. Now, this is not to say that this was all that was there. I, in fact, enjoyed the show. It was the best I've had so far, but a lot of that was the nostalgic hit that I got from games like Wipeout and Crash Bandicoot, which obviously I loved during the Uncharted 4 actual editions, and also Wipeout is one of my most favourite games on the original PlayStation. But the actual one that hit all the headlines aside the opener that everyone was questioning whilst it was running on Twitter and other social media, the Uncharted DLC, which was, incorrectly by my guessing, not Sam, but indeed Chloe. So that ass returns after all, and I'll be covering an analysis on that trailer very soon. But here we're looking at The Last of Us Part 2. A title that I know everyone kind of expected it to happen, and I'm still not 100% sure how I feel about the fact that both Ellie and Joel return in this latest title. But we should always give faith to Neil Druckmann and crew, because they must know what they're doing, and I'm pretty sure they won't ruin the experience, and I hope lessen the impact of the original title. So there's some obvious signs in this game, some obvious symbolism going on with Ellie herself, and the beginning of the trailer does show some obvious signs of where the story is headed. I do have my own ideas and theories on this, but I'm not going to share them because I think it might ruin it for other people, and you may have them yourself. But anyway, the trailer certainly answered a lot of questions and gave us an expectation of what we can look forward to. Now, the game was obviously in development for a lot longer than we usually expect at this point, but this mimics a very similar looking trailer and kind of mirrors the opposite situation of what we saw when The Last of Us was originally revealed on the PS3. Last time we saw Ellie rushing to save Joel, and this time we see the reverse, which is the obvious symptoms of the fact that we now play as Ellie, no longer as Joel. It doesn't say that Joel is not in the game, mind, but like I say, I'm not going to delve into my thoughts on what I think is happening there, but there is a lot of symbolism in the game, so I think you can make up your own mind. So visually, artistically, and technically, this is an updated title. It is the same engine that powered Uncharted 4, but again, heavily modified and upgraded here. Those roots are long since established and long running, bringing us right back to the Uncharted 3. Yes, the famous Uncharted 3 has returned and found itself a new role in The Last of Us 2, being scored and marked, ready for action in the forest and whatever they put before us. So it's good to see the tree branching out into new roles. Sorry. I'll leave it there. Now, this is a 30 FPS title. You can clearly see that from the trailer, and this is all in-game and running real-time on the PS4. Even though they didn't announce it at the beginning, I'm sure this has had some work done to make sure it runs as smooth and efficiently here. Even though this was actually filmed about a year and a half ago, they've certainly had some time to put this trailer together. Now, is this indicative of the final game? I'm sure it's indicative of the final real-time cutscenes that will run in the game, but it isn't probably indicative of the gameplay, which will probably come around E3, where we see some additional features on that. So in terms of the engine, what's improved? Well, we can certainly see screen space reflections have improved, certainly look of a much higher quality, and resolved most of their dithering issues that plagued Uncharted 4. Now again, I do stress that this may very probably be a PS4 Pro version running here, so it's probably also running in some super sampling with possibly a checkerboard or other solutions that Naughty Dog have created. So I'm not saying that the PS4 version is going to look terrible, but do make account for that this IQ and image quality here is pretty much going to only appear on the PS4 Pro version. But as you can see on screen and from playing the game, the Uncharted 4 on the base PS4 hardly has an issue with its image quality, and its temporal AA is very sufficient in covering up most of the issues and jaggers. No matter real-time gameplay or real-time cutscenes, there's hardly any issues there. But improvements do also come from this engine over and above what we saw in Uncharted 4, and that includes the latest trailer. Now these, I feel, are mostly down to capture techniques and animation. The team's capture technology just keeps improving, and now they are able to capture in real time and animate in real time from those capture points. They can also capture full finger animation now, and this was demonstrated at the PSX panel, which you can see the link below in the video, where they demonstrated their capture techniques are able to capture full facial and eye movement in real time and render in real time, and also morph between the actual model sets. So you could technically use this by capturing one actor and using those facial expressions on multiple, as the morph blend here shows. And this extends to the capture points now on fingers. And they get a chance to show off these techniques along with their cinematography with a nice depth of field. As you see Ellie's hand make a fist, the skin and tendon movement is sublime. Seeing the small bones under the skin and the movement of the fingers as they tense up, even down to the subtle movements of playing a guitar and tuning. All these things were not possible before, and even though there is hand animation here, this is, ironically, also captured from these real-time methods. Now this will all be in addition to the capture techniques, but the finger movement and facial movement can now all be captured and rendered in real time from this animation system. This doesn't mean the animators don't do a lot of hard work. Obviously they still need to do things like hair, cloth and all the physics simulation that happens within other objects in the game. Obviously, Naughty Dog aren't alone in these real-time capture techniques. Hellblade and Ninja Theory developers have been working hard in their own methods here, and it's used extensively in the new Hellblade title, with the facial capture of the heroine in the game all captured in real time and delivering the kind of emotive sense you need in these kind of emotional scenes. This can't really be done by hand animation alone unless you spend hours and hours of your time. Now obviously this is far from automatic or simple, but it does help the animators achieve the similar results that are portrayed from the actors when they capture these scenes, and this can only benefit the emotions in games and the delivery of these performances like this. The fact that we've got these scalable engines and this middleware plug-in solutions that are so easily, or at least conveniently, plugged into existing pipelines to enable you to capture this and use it in your engine, multiple engines. Here you've got Naughty Dog, and again with the example from Hellblade, Unreal Engine 4. This means that more developers can get involved in this, and it can reduce the time and effort to capture the kind of emotion that actors have been delivering for years in film. And this is only going to enhance titles like The Last of Us, Hellblade and other emotional titles in capturing those performances, and then further enhanced by the animation team. This is all demonstrated by close-ups of the eyes, the eyebrows moving, and obviously the depth in the eyeballs. This is all the additional techniques that are now available to them that predominantly weren't available before this. We did see them on the Uncharted 4 reveal and in certain points in Uncharted 4, but here they can really go to town, and again this is all amplified by the real-time capture system. The other enhancements to the engine are quite evident. They've certainly improved their physically based rendering solution here. Cloth and hair is also amplified, and again there's lots of little delicate touches in this, with decals from the blood running down the face, on the floor, bruises on the skin. Everything in the game looks very realistic and almost, dare I say it, photorealistic, moving slightly away from those pastel colours that they're used to and we saw in the previous Last of Us titles. It certainly has that look and feel to it. This evident from all Naughty Dog games, and you can certainly tell their animation style from a mile out. But this is going to be an impressive showing again from the team, and I'm sure very emotional experience for us all when we find out just where Joel and Ellie are headed. Anyway, that's it for this video. It may not have been as in-depth as other videos, but I will be covering more detail and more technical detail on the Uncharted trailer, which technically has more to see. This is really just a real-time render, but I'm sure many of you, like myself, are excited to see what Naughty Dog deliver in the latest chapter of The Last of Us. You guys and girls take care, and I'll see you very soon on the next one.
You really gonna go through with this?
I'm gonna find, and I'm gonna kill every last one of them.